It was supposed to be just another ride home. The hum of the train, the blur of city lights flashing past, and the quiet exhaustion that hung in the air like fog. But no one expected what happened that night to change the lives of two complete strangers forever. If you've ever wondered whether heroes still walk among us, wait till you hear what this single dad did, without even thinking twice. The late evening train was half empty as it rumbled through the outskirts of New York. Emily Carson sat near the window, clutching her bag to her chest. She had stayed late at the university, wrapping up final details for a community program she had volunteered for. At 24, Emily had always tried to see the best in people, naive, her mother would say, but kind-hearted to a fault. She hadn't noticed the man when he boarded at the last station. Greasy hair, too close eyes, and the kind of smile that makes your stomach twist. He sat across from her, then slowly inched closer, pretending it was casual. First came the stares. Then the whispers. And then, without warning, his hand brushed against hers. Emily froze. "Stop," she whispered, voice trembling. "Please don't touch me." But the man only grinned wider. "You're alone. You can't stop me." A few seats down, a man stirred. David Miller had just gotten off his second job. Construction all day, then night shift janitor at a mall. His body ached, and his mind was on one thing, getting home to his 7-year-old daughter, Lily. She'd begged him not to take the second job. But life had changed after his wife died 3 years ago. Bills didn't pay themselves. Dreams were expensive, and all he wanted was to keep Lily dreaming. When David heard the frightened voice, he didn't analyze it. He didn't weigh the risks. He stood up. "Hey," he barked, voice cutting through the carriage like a whip. The harasser flinched, eyes darting toward him. David walked over and stood between Emily and the man. He was tall, broad-shouldered, with calloused hands and worry lines etched deep into his forehead. She said, "Stop. Are you deaf, or just stupid?" The man scoffed. "Mind your business, old man." David leaned forward, his voice low and fierce. "This is my business now." The man stood, puffing out his chest. But something in David's stare, something in the calm fury of a father who had fought through hell and back, made him falter. With a curse, the man backed away, stumbled to the next car, and disappeared. Emily's shoulders collapsed in relief. Her eyes welled with tears. "Thank you," she whispered. David sat beside her, breathing hard. "You okay?" She nodded. "Yeah. Thanks to you." They sat in silence for a while, the train clattering over the tracks. "I'm Emily." "David." She smiled weakly. "Do you always save strangers on trains?" He gave a tired chuckle. "Only the ones who need it." Over the next few weeks, fate kept throwing them together. Once at the community center where Emily was helping organize an after-school program. Then again at a local grocery store where Lily had accidentally knocked over a display of apples, and Emily had helped clean it up. Lily liked Emily instantly. "She's like a teacher, Daddy. Can we keep her?" David blushed, but Emily only laughed. Before long, Emily became a regular part of their lives. She started tutoring Lily after school. Sometimes she'd stay for dinner. Other times, she'd bring baked cookies or stories about her college projects. There was no plan. No expectations. Just comfort. Healing. Friendship. David found himself opening up, telling her about his wife, Rachel. About the cancer that came like a thief in the night. About how he'd wanted to give up but couldn't, because of Lily. Emily shared her own scars. A father who abandoned them. A childhood filled with self-doubt. A heartbroken fiancé who ran when her mother got sick. Both had been broken in different ways. But somehow, sitting at that tiny dinner table, passing mashed potatoes and giggling at Lily's knock-knock jokes, they felt whole again. But peace doesn't last forever. One evening, David got a call from the landlord. The building was being sold. Tenants had 60 days to vacate. Rent across the city had skyrocketed, and David had nowhere to go. He didn't tell Emily right away. Didn't want to burden her. But Emily found out, through Lily. Daddy says we might have to live in the car. But he says it's okay, 'cause I can pretend it's camping. Emily was heartbroken. That night, she confronted David. You should have told me. I didn't want to drag you into my mess. You're not a mess. You're the strongest man I know. He looked away, jaw tight. I'm trying. I really am. I know you are, she said gently. Let me help. With her connections at the community center and a few calls, Emily found a local church program offering emergency housing for single parents. David and Lily moved into a small studio space that same week. It wasn't perfect, but it was safe. And it gave David time. Over the next few months, with Emily's help, David applied for better jobs. He got hired as a maintenance supervisor at a local school, a steady paycheck and benefits. Lily started thriving in school, her grades soaring. And as for David and Emily, their friendship deepened into something beautiful. Tentative. Tender. Like spring after a long winter. 1 year later. Lily stood at the front of a small community hall, holding a microphone twice the size of her hand. I want to thank everyone for helping my daddy. And I want to thank Miss Emily for loving him when he didn't even love himself. You're my hero too. The crowd clapped. Emily wiped her tears. David walked up behind her, his hands trembling. I never thought I'd get a second chance at love, he said softly. But this woman reminded me what hope looks like. And there, in front of friends and neighbors, he knelt down, not with a diamond ring, but with a paper ring Lily made in art class. Will you be my family? Emily nodded, her heart full. Sometimes, the smallest actions, like standing up on a train, can change your life forever. David didn't think twice when he defended Emily. He didn't do it to be a hero. He did it because it was right. And in doing so, he found someone who helped him heal. Who loved his daughter like her own. Who gave him hope again. Because the most beautiful stories often begin in the most unexpected places. Even on a train. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to share it. You never know who might need to be reminded that kindness still exists, and that love has a funny way of finding us when we least expect it.